What's up, guys? Welcome back to Shaun's Spin. As you guys know, in this podcast, we deal with all things motorsport, and it's my spin on things, guys. Obviously, because I started this YouTube career of mine and content creation out in the spinning industry, and that's why I've decided to go with the name Shaun Spin. But like I say, it is also my spin on things. So in the studio today, we have a very special guest, guys. He's been trending over the past week because he's done an amazing feat. He's a car builder from South Africa who owns a company called Chicanos. He's the owner and the founder, and he's been in the industry for over 20 years, guys. It's amazing what he's been able to do. And over the past week, Tariq has been in the UK. He entered a competition called Gravity, which took place in Birmingham. And Chicanos has a YouTube channel if you guys don't follow Tariq yet. But Chip is his name, his nickname, guys. Tariq Moosa is his real name. And he owns quite a few beautiful cars. They've got a showroom out in Wynberg where Chicanos is based. And he's got cars that are celebrities. And that's a fact, guys. One of the cars' names is actually Celeb. So, welcome to the studio, Tariq. Thank you for pulling through.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor. It's a pleasure.
For those of you who don't know, Tariq and I met a couple of years ago, and this year we've just hit it off. We've been creating some content together, and it's been an amazing journey. I actually been helping him to bring you guys the content from overseas. He's been sending it to me so that you guys could see it first on his channel. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the Chicanos channel, do so now. Chicanos Customs on YouTube. And then you can also follow Tariq on Instagram. But today, it's about the amazing feat that he has done. He built a car over the past 3 months, right? It took
5 weeks.
It's 5 weeks, actually, guys.
Yeah.
5 weeks. So Tariq bought a E9, 2000 CSI, eh?
2800.
2800 CS.
Yeah.
That's the actual badge that you guys would see, but the model is an E9. So he built the car over 5 weeks and he shipped the car to the UK for the show.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the build.
Right. So the funny story about this car is that I've always wanted an E9. E9 has always been one of my dream BMWs to own, and more so because it's such a rare car worldwide and we hardly see them in South Africa. So I believe everything happens for a reason. So I do own a few cars in my collection that I've built up over the years. And I always sell one or two cars to move on to the next car. And I sold my Shadow line to purchase a 325 IS that came up for sale. Concluded the deal, took delivery of the car, and made an arrangement that I'll pay the guy only once I confirm the car is a real 325 IS. When I confirmed the car is a real 325 IS, asked the guy for banking details. He never sent it. A week later, he came to fetch his car. So I was upset because I sold one of my cars to purchase this car, and I only sell if something else is in the pipeline. So I had an itch, and I'm like, no, I need to now replace this car. So I checked on Gumtree what BMWs were available, and I came across this E9. Went to go and view the car, made an offer, and sold another car of mine to purchase this car. That's how much I wanted this car. And why this car particular is because it's a one-owner car. It belonged to a famous doctor. The car traveled to 4 different countries. So every country he stayed in, he took the car with him. So the car was in Germany, Netherlands, America, and also in South Africa. And to make the car even more special, the car had full service history from every BMW dealership, from every country it was in. So it was like a no-brainer, you know. So I bought the car, goal achieved, one of the dream cars I owned. And then I was chatting to the guys of Gravity and then decided, okay, cool, we're going to attend the Gravity show, but we're going to take a car. And I ran not really a competition, but I asked my viewers, fans, and subscribers, Out of the cars, I gave them a few options and asked them to choose which car should we build for the Gravity show. And we had to take into consideration that we didn't have much time. We had to take into consideration that we are attending one of Europe's biggest car shows. So the car we had to take was something that would have a big impact at the show. So we narrowed it down to four choices, and the E9 won.
Mhm.
And that's when we decided to build the E9. We also chose the E9 because we thought the car had the least amount of work. We thought that. But in essence, it didn't. It actually had the most amount of work.
So obviously, I was with you on the journey, and
Yes.
I was able to see some of these issues that you
Yes.
had. Could you tell the audience who
Yeah.
don't know what were some of the issues that shocked you?
Okay, so the major issue was, so initially the car's paintwork looked okay, and we thought we could save it by detailing the car and trying to enhance the existing paint job. So the work we were supposed to carry out was just to build a set of wheels, interior air suspension, and a front spoiler. But when we started to actually work with the car and try and flat it to polish, I found a lot of issues with the paint job. So then I was like, okay, cool. We can't rock up to Europe's biggest car show where there's big Lamborghinis and that, and your paintwork doesn't look good. So we need to give the car a blow over. So for those of you that don't know what a blow over is where you strip the car minimal and you do a light flat and repair on the body, and then you mask and you paint the car. Full strip down respray is where you take the glass, the engine, everything out. So we didn't have time for that. So when we started working through the body work and I removed the carpets, I removed the sills on the side, we found rust, but not normal rust. The floor was so bad you could actually put your foot through and your foot would touch the ground, so you'd be like a Flintstone, you know.
Yeah.
Remember
Fred
Yeah.
Flintstone, yeah.
So I thought to myself, no, the car's brakes is good, so we can't do a Fred Flintstone move. So then we were in it, and at that point, I remember one of my friends took a video of me where I'm holding my head and I'm stressing out. The car was stripped. The car, we picked up a lot of rust. We didn't have time to finish the car, and I thought to myself, why did I go and strip a car that looked good on the outside to go and rebuild it because of the time factor? And the time factor was against us because the car was being shipped. We had to make the shipping date, and also we had to make the inspection for customs. Um, if I had missed the shipping date, the car would not have arrived on time. It would have arrived a week after the car show. So that means that everything that we've done to prepare the car up to that point would have been, like, in vain.
Yeah.
So it was stressful.
So, with regards to the logistics,
Yeah.
obviously you needed to ship the car over there.
Yes.
It couldn't have been an easy task.
No.
How did you make it possible? Because there's obviously customs that you needed to go through.
Yes.
You can't drive that South African car on those UK roads.
Yeah.
So how did you get the car to the UK firstly, and who helped you get the car to the show and obviously back to the shipping
Yeah.
company?
Okay, so there's a company called CNR Global Logistics. The two owners' names are Sham and Stewart. So I'm quite big on social media. So a lot of overseas people follow me and follow our builds. So when I announced that I'm taking the car to the UK, Sham has been following me for a while and watching the YouTube channel, and obviously he liked our stuff. He approached me and asked, okay, who's doing your shipping? And I'm like, look, I've never done this before. I don't know the process. Can you recommend someone? And he's like, no, we do shipping. That's our job. We ship Formula One cars all around the world, etc. We've never done South Africa, but we'd like to get on board as a part sponsor. So I'm like, okay, a part sponsor. They're like, yeah, we'll contribute a portion of the shipping and you just pay the balance. And I'm like, okay, cool. That helps me out a lot. So CNR Global Logistics, based in the UK, sorted everything from the car being loaded onto the container till the car arrived in the UK, getting delivered by Car Audio and Security. And Car Audio Security, Raj and Pam, one of the biggest car builders or car audio companies in the UK. I follow them. I look up to them. I approached them and asked them if they wouldn't mind storing the car, and they were super happy to store it. So the car went from the dock in the UK to car audio and security, and CNR Global Logistics handled everything. In fact, they're handling the shipping now as well, coming back. The car will arrive back in SA around the 9th of October.
And then, obviously, you speak about car audio and security.
Yeah.
And I watched a couple of the videos
Yeah.
that you guys sent through from the UK.
Yes.
And it seems as though they played a big part in this whole journey.
Massive.
You use their workshop
Yes.
to repair some things that got damaged during the shipping.
Yes.
So tell us a little about spending time with somebody you look at as role models.
Yeah. So for me, I kept on pinching myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming, because I look up to them, because the cars they do, the cars they own, Raj's collection, and also their business is something that I aspire to be like. Everybody's got to have a hero in any industry, or someone that you chase. And they went out of their way. Let me tell you, they stored the car. Before we loaded the car on the container, we needed to drain the fuel. Palm went to go and get 5 liters of fuel, filled fuel on the car. They gave me a tour around the workshop. And more so, the car, because of the time frame we had, we couldn't cure the paint and sort out any paint defects because we rushed. And if you look at the videos on YouTube, you'll see a lot of it is where we're working during load shedding, because I didn't want to take time away from building customers' cars. So this car was built after hours, from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. My guys volunteered. I paid them overtime. We came in on a Sunday to build this car within the 5-week period. However, we couldn't finish everything. So during the transit of the car, because of the moisture in the container, the paint reacted in certain areas on the clear coat. And when I seen the car, I was beyond stressed, because my whole thing was, I can't go with a bad paint job to Europe's biggest show. So Raj and them told me not to stress. We'll fix it. We'll sort it out. The car developed a bit of an air leak. The water pipe burst. So the perspex and the glass in the boot install came loose, obviously, because the car was shaking quite a bit in the container. So there was a lot of little nitty-gritties that needed to be sorted out. Raj, Palm, and their whole team at Car Audio and Security prioritized getting the car ready for the show, just to assist us, and they never asked for anything in return. They didn't charge me anything. And for me, it was a defining moment, and it just goes to show that how united car people are. We can be from different parts of the world, but we all share this one common passion, and that passion unites us regardless of skin color, where we stay, accent, color of your hair, etc. And that's really what I love about the car scene.
So not only did you get to meet your role models,
Yes.
Raj and Palm, with
Yeah.
Kaz TV, Car Audio and Security.
Yes.
Guys, if you don't know, Kaz TV has a YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to that channel as well. Just
Yes.
search it, CAS TV,
Yeah.
Car Audio and Security UK.
Your mind will be blown. The cars they have is next level, guys.
So besides meeting them,
Yeah.
you actually had the car, some gents in the car
Yes.
community
Yes.
organize a little park off for you.
Yes.
And during this park off, you got to spend time in one of the most famous E30s in the world,
Worldwide.
not even Europe.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that E30. It's a convertible E30,
Yes.
but you can tell the audience the rest.
Okay, so guys, again, I said in any industry, you must have someone that you look up to. So in South Africa, one of my cars is like super famous, but my car's crush is E30JV. You guys can follow him under Instagram. He goes as E30_JV. For me personally, he's got one of the best E30s worldwide. So we've been chatting for many years on Instagram. I've never met him. I've never met some of the guys. But we chat, we comment on each other's posts, and we encourage each other. When I arrived, E30 JV pulled through and was so excited to see me. I felt I didn't know who was more excited, me meeting him or him meeting me. So he arranged the park off. He took us out for supper. If I tell you they did not or they didn't charge us or they didn't ask for any money, he arranged the detailing. He paid for the detailing. Anything we needed in the UK, Raj Palm, E30 JV, and the whole crew sorted us out. They treated us like royalty. Like, bro, I've never ever experienced such hospitality before. I've attended car shows in Cape Town, Durban, and all over the country. But no one's ever treated us the way they've treated us. And it just goes to show how that passion unites us. So, highlight of my trip, or one of the highlights of my trip, is driving in London in a convoy of E30s and having a panoramic roof, one of three, and just looking at the London skyline, etc., etc. It was just an amazing feeling. So definitely a massive shout out to them. They looked after us and they were really, really hospitable.
Okay, then obviously you touched now on you went out for supper with the guys
Yeah.
and things like this. And tell us about the UK. And we know there are a lot of Muslim people out in the UK.
Yes.
How does it work there? Is it a tight knit Muslim community? Are there mosques available for you to visit? And food?
Yeah.
That was one of the big questions in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
what was Chip eating all this time?
So let me tell you, one thing I can say is that our currency is weak. Like, I felt it every time I swiped and FNB's message came through. So that was one of the negatives on the trip. So you gotta watch your spending. So luckily the hotels we stayed in, we took the breakfast option. So to balance it out, we had a big breakfast and we'd have a late supper. So we survived like that. In central London, when we were staying in Paddington, we didn't struggle for food. But when I spent 5 days in Birmingham, it was a nightmare. There is a big Indian community, but again, people are spread out and there is Indian towns, but it's far from where we were. However, we chowed a lot of Turkish food, so that kept us going. In Birmingham, for 5 days straight, I had vegetarian. It was the toughest thing because, number one, you're chowing vegetarian food. So I'll give you an example. I bought a cheese sandwich. You know those normal cheese sandwich that you get in the packets that you buy at the garage? Mm-hmm. So I bought a cheese and tomato sandwich. I bought a packet of crisp and I bought a Coke. And when I swiped, I saw 253 Rand come off my account and I'm thinking, yes, see, if I knew that, I would have rather framed the sandwich and put it as the most expensive sandwich. So that was a challenge. Also, I find that people are halal, but their version of halal and our version of halal is a little bit different. So some of the restaurants are staunch halal, meaning they don't contaminate food, they don't contaminate pork, etc. Some of the restaurants we went to, and you ask if they are halal, they say yes. But you look on the menu, they serve pork. And then you ask them, okay, how do you prepare your food? They prepare the food together. So if there's contamination, you can't eat. I tried looking for fish and chips because, UK is big on fish and chips.
Yeah.
We couldn't eat the fish and chips because it has beer in the batter. Okay. Then I thought, okay, let's look for pasta. We found pasta. I couldn't eat the pasta because the pasta is mixed with wine and cooked with wine. Okay. So that was very difficult.
So you spoke about your 5 days in Birmingham, and then you had your time in London before that. So just explain to the audience, how far is Birmingham from London?
Okay, so Birmingham is about 2.5 hours away from London. So it's quite a journey, quite an expensive journey. And we eat a little bit of a snag on the Thursday when the car needed to go to Birmingham. So the problem I sat with was we booked the detailer that was supposed to come on Wednesday. He couldn't make it on Wednesday. So I said, okay, cool, come on Thursday. He came a little bit late on Thursday. So what we decided was to actually start detailing the car on our own. So Raj and Pam allocated one of their staff members who's good at detailing. And I did the interior. My brother started with the engine bay and he started with the body to try and repair the paint. Because we were delayed on the detailing, the tow truck that was booked to take the car to Birmingham, I had to cancel it because we weren't done with the car. And in UK, they work differently. Here in South Africa, if you're stuck on the road, you can phone someone, you can phone a tow truck. Within half an hour, you got someone to help you. In the UK, you've got to pre-book stuff. So you can't phone someone to say, please come fetch my car. I need you to pick me up in 2 hours, 4 hours. It doesn't work like it. You got to make an appointment. So we could only get a tow truck for the Friday. That caused a complication because the car was going to be displayed on the podium, and I'll get into that in a bit. The car needed to be at the NEC by 9 o'clock in the morning because it's one of the first cars that gets put into the hall. Now, the problem is we in Paddington, all right? Raj and them are in Middlesex. So from Middlesex to Birmingham is about 2.5 hours with the tow truck, possibly 3 hours, right? Because of the speed limit they have to drive. Raj and them open at 9:30. The car needs to be there at 9 o'clock. Logistically, it was impossible to get the car there at 9 o'clock. So now I'm stressing because the tow truck is cancelled. Now what do? I'm not in my town. I don't know. I know people, but I mean, there's a certain system you got to follow. Now E30JV is phoning. Sam E30V8 is trying to hook up a tow truck. So everyone that's involved there is trying to hook up a tow truck at the last minute. Eventually, we got someone to come out and tow the car. Very expensive, I must tell you. I paid £250 to tow the car 2.5 hours away, which is like converted, it's about 6,000 and something rand. If we had to do that here in South Africa, it would have costed us about 2,000, 2,500. But I didn't have a choice. I had to pay the price or else the car wouldn't go for the show. So yeah, then I phoned the organizer, Jordan, very nice guy. The people of Gravity were amazing. I want to give shout out to them as well, but we'll get into it in a bit as well. So I phoned him. I'm like, dude, I have a problem. I'm stressing. The car's not detailed as yet. I got to fix a few things on the car. I can only get the car to you on Thursday evening, not Friday morning. It's going to be impossible. He says, okay, let me call you back. Calls me back. He says, cool, I made arrangements. You can go and leave your car at the NEC in the evening, whatever time you're done. Just call me when you're there. I'll get them to open for you. Bro, that was like a blessing because now it would have sucked to have gone through all this effort, all these challenges and difficulties, and now the car don't have a tow truck to go to the NEC. It would have been like, bad. So luckily we got the car to the NEC. I've even got selfies and a small video of us driving with Nkabi, how stressed I was. So we get to the NEC. And now we're struggling to get the car off because where we loaded the car, there was a bit of a ramp, so it made it easier because the car spoiler is low. Now we're thinking, how do we offload the car? Then when we're offloading the car, the water pipe burst. Now I'm thinking, I don't need the stress now. Everything's just going wrong on this car. Eventually, we get the car off. We took some planks and we managed to pull the car off. As I'm pulling the car off, there's no fuel in the car. Now I'm stressing even more because I don't have a car. I don't know where's the filling station. If I don't have fuel in the car, I can't drive the car onto the trailer that's going to put the car onto the podium. So now it's a nightmare. Now I'm stressing. So the tow truck guy was so kind enough. I asked him, I say, bro, listen, I'm not from here. You can hear. Please do me a favor. Take me to the filling station. I'll pay you a bit extra. Just help me get fuel so I can put it in the car so tomorrow I don't have pressure. Anyway, he was cool enough. He said, okay, fine, let's go. He took me to the filling station. By the way, petrol is like 30-something rand a liter there. So I felt it as well.
Yeah, no.
I bought a jerry can, filled fuel, And then I didn't have tools to fix up the leak. So I bought my most expensive screwdriver, which is a small dumpy screwdriver. I'm actually gonna frame it with the invoice because the screwdriver actually costed me like over $200. And it's a cheap screwdrivers that we buy here maybe for $20, $30, but there it was over 200 rand. So I bought it also. Went back to the NEC, filled fuel in the car, make sure it started, and I bought 2 jugs of water because I needed to keep on filling so I could move the car up and down because I didn't have tools. I couldn't open the air cleaner to fix the water pipe because I needed a specific spanner. But eventually, we got it right, and the car made it to the NEC at the stage. So that was quite amazing.
And then once the car got there, I see you did a little impromptu shoot with another one of the guys that you met
Yes.
over Instagram.
Yes.
Now his car looks very similar to yours. It's a
Yes,
6 series.
635.
Yeah, so he's also got a nice little spoiler on the front,
Yes.
and we saw some of the pictures and content you sent through of
Yes.
that. What was it like meeting Shark Nose?
So let me tell you, again, comes back to us following the overseas scene because to me, I always try and say, how can I build better cars? And you got to look at the trend overseas because the guys are way more advanced in terms of technology, wheels, quality of paints, quality of parts, and also access of parts. So Shark Nose is someone I've been following for a very long time. His car is very famous. He's from Germany. And when you Google Bag 635, his car pops up as well as some others. So we've been chatting prior to me going to the NEC. When he saw that the E9 is coming, he reached out to me. I've been following him, right? I've never spoke to him before. He reached out to me and asked me, is the car really coming? And I'm like, yes, the car's coming. He says, you coming from South Africa? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming from South Africa. He says, how are you coming? I said, no, the car's coming on a ship and I'm flying. So in his mind, he thought I'm driving. So luckily, I explained to him the process. He persisted that he wanted his car parked next to mine because of the history between the two cars. So when I met him, I felt like I met a friend that I knew my whole life. He's one of the coolest people I've met, friendliest. He even gave me a gift. He made Shark Nose air fresheners and he put one on my window. And then we were like, no, we have to take pics of our cars together because we don't know when we're going to get this opportunity again. So before I pulled my car on the Friday onto the trailer, the guys booked a photo shoot with the car, which was supposed to happen on Thursday, but we were delayed. So Friday morning, all the photographers said, please pull your car there. We want to take shots and videos of your car. And I'm like, guys, that is an honor. Just being here is an honor. But you guys, and this is famous photographers, right? Everyone snapping away. Then I'm like, Shark Nose, bring your car over. Let's do a double shoot. He brings his car over. Then you just see more photographers coming around the cars because the two cars are closely linked. If it wasn't for the E9, the 635 would never have been born. So it's a very close link. And to see the two of them together is like, it's really an amazing thing, especially if you're a BMW guy.
So
yeah.
At the main show, I saw that there was a lot of attention, obviously, at
Yeah.
that car. A lot of the people from the UK wanted to see the car.
Yes.
Obviously, had GP plates,
Yeah.
proudly repping South Africa there.
Yeah.
What was it like on the first day? Did you feel like a superstar?
Yeah. So let me tell you, I was nervous because at the park of seeing Raj's collection, I visited my other buddy, Classic Custom UK, and I got to see the quality of their cars and also what they do to their cars. And I thought to myself, am I good enough to be here? And that sat with me continuously. So I doubted myself because I thought to myself, Chip, you on a world platform now, your car needs to be on that level. And I kept doubting myself, and my brother kept on reassuring me, don't stress, you're going to be okay. Raj and him kept reassuring me, the staff kept on reassuring me, don't stress, your car is beautiful, you're going to see your car is going to do well at the show. And when the car actually was on the podium, and the photographers started to come the Friday night. Saturday, the first show day, bro, I was blown away. I never expected the response I got on the car. To me, attending the show is big. Attending the show with one of my cars was massive. Being on the podium was like a highlight of my life, right? But to actually see the amount of people that went crazy for the car, that's when I said, okay, Chip, you did well. You know, I had South Africans, and that's what I love about South Africa. We are a resilient nation. We've overcome a lot of obstacles throughout our lives, right? But when we need to unite, we unite. I had people that stay in London come specifically to the show just to see the car. Some people are not even car people, but they came because there was a South African car at the show with the South African flag and the GP number plates. I had another gentleman, Darren. He traveled 8 hours. He stays on a small island 8 hours away from Birmingham. That brat traveled 8 hours to the show, brought his mother-in-law, brought his wife, booked them in a hotel and told them, right, you guys do your own thing. I'm doing my own thing. I'm at the show. Bro Reto wore South African socks. He wore South African shoes. He wore South African T-shirt. He had a flag. When he came to see me, he hugged me and he's like, I'm so happy to meet you. I can't stop looking at the car. He was standing at the car most of the time, and anytime someone came to come and take pictures of the car, he'd tell them, this guy is from South Africa. This guy is built in South Africa. So he was the number one fan. So it was quite nice to see. Then a lot of other South Africans. I had another Tani and two kids. I'm standing, I'm looking at the car, I'm checking everyone take pictures. The Tannie comes, she almost starts speaking Afrikaans. I'm like, yo, Tannie, jy praat Afrikaans. She says, yeah, I miss my language. Come on, praat Afrikaans. And we were just going the Afrikaans one way, bruh. So she was happy. And her sons were like taking pictures. They happy. The main thing is that people were proud to be a part of this build. And the way I did this build was, it's not only Chip that's taking the car, it's not only Chicanos that taking the car, but I want to do this for our South African car culture because I believe that we are world class. I believe that we have a lot of talented people that don't get the recognition that they deserve, you know? And this build was to put us as a country on the platform. And I think we achieved it, you know?
So, on that, regarding the car show, can you tell us what that Gravity car show is in comparison to some of our biggest car shows? Because, we recently had our German versus Chap,
Yeah.
and the the most well-attended event that we've ever seen in Joburg.
Yeah.
Over 88,000 people at that event.
Yeah.
But what was it like at the NEC? Were there just as many people there?
Yeah.
Was it well organized?
Bro, so let me put you into perspective, right? And I believe that in order to do something and do it well, you gotta be passionate about it, right? So the owner, Jordan, is a passionate car guy. He's got some amazing cars, right? And you can see he's a car enthusiast. When you speak to him, you pick up he's a car enthusiast. So for me, that's already a winning formula, right? To put you into perspective, this show you can't just attend with your car. You gotta be pre-selected. So out of the whole of Europe and UK, according to what one of the guys say, 6,000 people applied for their cars to be at the show. 600 were shortlisted, right? So that's the magnitude of the show. They had big names like Liberty Walk, Zach's Garage. I'll tell you a bit about Zach's Garage. They had that other bro, what's his name? Matt Armstrong. He's quite famous on YouTube building supercars and that. So they had a lot of big names. But what I like about the show is very well organized. Systems were in place, right? There was space between the cars so people could walk through correctly through the cars, right? The type of crowd that was there was a mature crowd, you know. I think that in order for an event to be successful, you've got to invest the money to make the car enthusiasts who are bringing their cars there feel comfortable, because ultimately without car people, there won't be a car show. People are bringing their pride and joy and spending a lot of money to prepare it for the show, to bring it there. And I think that's where they did well. They took the needs of the guys that are displaying their cars into consideration, and that is also what helped them achieve such an amazing show. The show was busy. It's the biggest car show I've ever been to, and it's one of the biggest in Europe. So it was very well organized, and the guys there were absolutely amazing. They looked after us. No issues. They kept on coming to check up if we're okay, if we need anything, and they kept on thanking us for being a part of the show, because no one's ever done it. No one's taken a car from South Africa to go and compete in a stunt show. And for them, it was a big thing. For us, it was a massive thing. But for them, they showed a lot of appreciation, And I think that's important, showing appreciation to the people that are bringing cars to your car show to make your car show. Not saying that you must say it like, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's a vital component that I believe that car show organizers in South Africa don't do. They focus on ticket sales and they focus on cramming the numbers and making the money, but they don't focus on the quality of the shows and the control. Do you know that there was no one revving? There was no one spinning.
No Oka pipes?
No Oka pipes, no cam chairs. There was nothing. It was a place where people and car enthusiasts would come and enjoy the cars,
I saw a lot of grandstands as well.
Yeah.
So what were the grandstands for? Were they like motorsport events happening as well
Yeah.
on the side? Or was that just for people to be comfortable and have a place to sit if they needed to?
So they had drifting. The drifting was amazing. They had some of the top names in drifting in Europe. So they had the grandstand for the drifting. And something that I enjoyed, bro, was the lowriders. So the UK is now has a massive growing lowrider scene. So there was a few Chevy Impalas. There was a Honda Ballad with wire wheels and hydraulic suspension, bruh. Like, I've never seen that before. And for me, I love the fact that the UK's car scene is growing so big, I put them as one of the best in the world, and the lowrider was amazing. I mean, to see Chevy Impalas bouncing, to see a Buick bouncing, doing a three-wheel thing. And the nice thing is, if you look at my videos, you'll see that it was controlled. So they closed off the area with fencing. The crowd was around, and they made sure that safety was a priority. They made sure that the cars don't get damaged by having people all over the cars, etc. So that was amazing to see.
And then obviously on the Sunday, which was the final show day, you
Yeah.
obviously spent 2 days there.
Yeah.
You were shocked
Yeah.
and surprised at the outcome of the day because overnight,
Yeah.
your car Nkabi has become a celebrity.
Yes.
It's already been a celebrity in South Africa, but
Yeah.
it's now become a celebrity worldwide.
Yes.
Because you've accomplished an impossible feat, something that none of us would have thought would have been possible for a South African car builder.
Yes.
You have managed to make it into the top 5 in Europe.
Yes.
Europe.
Yeah.
Not only South Africa, but the top 5 in Europe.
Yes.
Tell us about that and the feelings that you felt when they called your name out.
Bro, so I didn't expect it. Like I mentioned, just being able to be at the show, have our car on the podium, that was a big thing for me, When they called out my name or the car itself, I wanted to cry. I'm being honest. I'm a grown man, but I felt emotional because, number one, my amazing staff who has been with me through thick and thin went out of their way to build this car. They sacrificed their time after hours. They sacrificed their Sundays because I had a dream and they bought into the dream and they seen the vision and they seen the impact this would have, not just for Chicanos, but the overall car scene, right? So that was the emotions that I was feeling. Plus, on top of that, all the difficulties I faced throughout this build. I mean, my visa got declined. You know that, my first visa.
Yeah.
I did a second application, but I sent the car on the container to not miss the shipping date before I had a visa. So I went on faith and I thought to myself, okay, just send the car. It will work out. I had faith that my second visa would get approved. It was a 50-50 chance. It was a gamble, but it got approved. Going through that, going through almost missing the shipping date, finding the rust, having issues with some of the chroming on the car. So there was a lot of emotions getting to the show, the tow truck being cancelled, the paintwork reacting, the car needing fuel, like all the difficulties that we faced throughout this build and trying to finish this car in the 5-week period that we had. It was just emotional. It was like the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And I thank the organizers and I thank the whole of South Africa and Africa, because a lot of people from Namibia, Lesotho, all over Zimbabwe have been following the journey, have been following the build, and has been encouraging us to complete it and telling us that we're not alone, we're in this together. So this win was emotional for me, because despite all the challenges you go through in life, despite all the difficulties you go through in life, if you believe and you keep on soldiering on, anything is possible and you can accomplish anything. And this is coming from someone that started this business in a single garage at home many years ago, fitting sound, working in Marabastad on the pavement, installing sound in taxis, bro. That is where my story comes from, to being able to showcase my work on an international platform and having them recognize, it was the recognition, the effort.
And one thing I must touch on, guys, is the fact that this car would never have made it onto the podium without the audience that follows Chip.
Definitely.
Because there was the Gravity Slammed UK page.
Yes.
Had a poll. So they were putting the cars up against each other, and you guys had to vote for the cars.
Yes.
And Chip obviously shared it on his status, on his
Everywhere.
Instagram, everywhere. I myself voted for the car. I'm a South African. I wanted to see it on the podium.
Yeah.
So thank you to all you guys that voted for the car, because without you, the Nkabi would never have made it onto the main podium.
Definitely.
That was the main
The
podium.
main podium in
right
front
in
of the
front of the
stage.
DJ booth. Yeah.
So that was amazing. In fact, when I got there, some of the organizers or the guys on the organizing team said they've never, like the split between the other cars versus everyone voting was insane. It was like we killed the competition.
Knocked it out the
Yeah,
park,
like by far. It's like I wish I got those marks in school, bro.
But clearly you getting the marks. He must have been good at woodworking
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
workshopping class.
I
Because
was.
clearly you see Chicanos is doing some amazing things.
Yeah.
So obviously I know you want to thank some of the guys who helped you out.
Yeah.
KSTV.
Yeah.
We've got Airlux, who was one of your sponsors.
Yes.
V's Auto Pipes.
Yes.
The guy who helped you get the name Nkabi,
Yes.
the
Caritas.
licensing company.
Yes.
Please give them a shout out.
Okay, so first of all, I wanna say that I am humbled by all the support and the way the car has been trending. Like I mentioned earlier, the car wasn't just built for Chip and Chicanos, it was built for South Africa. And the way South Africans and Africans in general, people from neighboring countries, have been sharing this car, it's an emotional thing, It makes me feel proud. I mean, there's even memes on the car, bro. I don't know if you saw that. The Simpsons,
Yeah.
the Springboks.
Yeah, the Simpsons foresaw this.
It was so everyone's been amazing. So a massive shout out to South Africa. Everyone, you guys have been amazing. Without you guys, I don't think this build would have been possible. I don't think we would have gotten the podium. And again, you guys are amazing. Like, shout out to you guys. I have to say a massive shout out to my sponsors. So I've got a few guys that came on board. High Tech Mag Repairs, they sorted out the wheels. Plasma Graphics, they sorted out all the wooden trim on the car. A massive shout out to Airlock suspension. They sponsored the kit on the car, so they definitely deserve the recognition. A massive shout out to Terrence V's Auto Pipes. Bro, you awesome. Thank you so much for organizing all the upgraded pipes and fittings for the air ride suspension, and also helping us when we had the leak at the depot when we were loading the car. That was something I definitely need to say thank you for. MFH powder coating, shout out to you for sponsoring all the chroming on the car. That was amazing. CNR Global Logistics, Sham and Stewart have never met me, and they have gone above and beyond. And I'll tell you quickly a little bit of a story. The car needed to be, or the car needs to get a Kanye certificate. Kanye certificate, you got to pay a certain percentage of the value of the car, right? The amount was massive. I never had the money, bro. So when I phoned Sham and told him, listen, bro, they want us to pay this money. Nobody told me about it. I don't have this money. I can try and make a plan and borrow it, but it's not going to happen now. He said, Chip, don't worry. I'll call you back now. He spoke to his partner, Stuart. Stuart, Sham phoned me back. He says, don't worry, we got you covered. We'll pay the Kanye. It was a substantial amount of money, like a massive amount of money. They've never met me, right? But they've managed to pay the Kanye on my behalf. Obviously, they'll get it back because it's a refundable deposit. So massive shout out to them. And also they went above and beyond, so I definitely think they need props for this. Car audio and security, Raj, Palm, team, you guys have been awesome. I know you guys are tired of me thanking you, but I'm going to thank you again. And I hope that what you've done for me, I can return it, because you guys have been awesome. You've went out of your way, and I appreciate that. To you on your team, you guys are awesome. E30 JV and the rest of the guys, Sam E30 V8, there's a long list of guys to thank. Massive shout out to you guys for looking after me and, going above and beyond to help solve some of the issues that we faced in the UK. So, to my staff, my staff has been superstars, bro. They really delivered. And I posted a video on my status yesterday with them holding the trophy that we won. Bro, that was an emotional moment. They were so happy. Some of the guys looked like they wanted to cry because it's a big achievement for them, so they definitely deserve the recognition. Massive shout out to my wife and kids, my family, because they put up with me by not seeing me for 5 weeks because we were working late. And every day my kids used to phone and say, Terry, when you coming home? Terry, when you coming home? And I felt bad because, family time was sacrificed. So massive shout out to my wife and my kids and my family that supported me. And a shout out to you, bro. You don't understand how much of a big role you played in this journey, You number one, you taught me how to vlog, right? Number two is you directed me on how I should do things, So thank you so much for the support you've given me, helping me grow the channel, helping me grow the brand. And also, bro, you made videos while I was in the UK, bro. That is like something massive, It just goes to show what the type of person you are. And I'm glad that our paths have crossed, and I'm glad that you and I have gotten closer in this last year. And I hope to do more things with you. So thank you so much for that, bro.
No, it's only my pleasure. And I told Chip, it's only for you guys, for South Africa, because I helped him just bring this content. He filmed it all, I just put it together. We had a plan before he went on how we gonna do it. And see, there was times I was putting Chip under pressure, guys. The man was busy, and I'm like, you need to upload the clips, otherwise we can't upload tonight. But eventually, with the help of Rudy, your brother as well, he helped us a lot. His phone had awesome quality.
Yeah.
He helped Chip out as well when Chip's phone was flat, because I can imagine your phone doesn't stay charged for 24 hours. Right? And then, just thanks for the support, guys.
Yeah,
That's
amazing.
a major thing, because obviously I've been watching from behind the scenes. We posted the first 3 days when Chip got there. We were like bang, bang, bang. But then things got really busy, and then we decided, okay, let's keep some content back. so that when Chip gets back to South Africa, it gives you guys something to wait for.
Definitely.
So, like we said before, if you haven't subscribed to that Chicanos channel, please do. If you haven't subscribed to the Citizens YouTube channel, please do, because this is obviously the first video podcast that I'm doing for Shaun Spin. But
Nice.
we're looking at doing more content like this, getting more car guys out here, spinners, people who are doing amazing things for South Africa, like Chip and Chicanos, guys. So, is there anything you wanna say to us? What was the best workshop you visited? Because obviously you saw a lot of workshops there. Which was your best workshop, and what was your best car that you saw on the trip?
I'll answer in a bit. I need to thank the guys of Slammed UK Gravity for allowing us the opportunity and treating us well. Like I mentioned, they're amazing people. Jordan, the owner of the show, the main organizer, he's a legend, very humble guy. So massive shout out to them. And you mentioned my brother. Shout out to my brother for accompanying me on the trip.
Shout out, Rudy.
Rudy, this is the first overseas trip we've done together. We've never been on holiday together, so it was a big thing. So my brother Rustin, thank you for always supporting me and inspiring me, etc., etc. Playing the proper role of a big brother.
And you
That's
better
Rudy.
give him apology for not showing him any sights.
Yeah.
Chip side, your sightseeing is looking at cars.
Yeah. So yeah, and then also I had a friend of mine's, Plucky. You know Plucky with the E36.
Yeah.
Shout out to Plucky for coming through as well and supporting. It was an amazing weekend. And my friend Fred. So we were four guys that went down together. First it was myself and my brother, and Plucky and Fred joined after. So thank you guys for coming through and supporting. And also I must say a shout out to my circle, Ahmed, Tabang, Tumelo, Caridas. Caridas actually came up with the Nkabi name, so Caridas deserves flowers, guys. So let's give him his flowers. I heard that's the new thing now, right?
Yeah, Neil.
Give him his flowers. So Caridas, who else am I forgetting here? Plucky, Hamza, and all the other gens. Sorry, guys, I can't think of everyone now. There's a lot of people. So massive shout out to you guys for supporting, encouraging the build. Now, best workshop, car audio and security. I actually felt like I needed to go and shower, put on a suit, and go back to the workshop. That's how clean that workshop was, right? So the workshop was clean, organized, everything in its place. The staff were well organized, uniforms, so it was like walking into one of those high-end dealerships workshop. That's how it was. So I definitely want to strive to get to that level. So that was the best workshop. Another highlight of the trip was E30 JV brought an E30 M3 for me to see, because he knows that's my dream E30. So he brought an E30 M3 for me to see and drive in. So that was also one of the highlights of my trip. Is the E30 M3 was like, wow, for me. That's my dream E30.
So, would you do this again? Not competing,
Yeah.
but possibly just go and visit the guys and do some more sightseeing, visit some more businesses, learn some more from the guys. Is it something you do again, or have you had enough stress?
No, it's definitely something I'll do again. This time I'll go a bit more better prepared, and we won't squash building a car in 5 weeks. But look, the guys invited me back again next year. They said, please, we must come through. And a lot of people have contacted me to say, when I go again, please, they want to come with me. So I think on the next trip, we are going to be a bigger crew, and possibly will be more cars that will go down to go and compete. So I think it's definitely something that South Africa should do. I think I've peaked in the local car scene. I want to go experience, learn, bring back so South Africa can evolve. So I'll definitely do more of this, and I'm definitely attending the show again.
Yeah, we're just waiting for some feedback, guys. Chip asked Raj and Palm to adopt him, so
Yeah.
we don't know how long that process is gonna take. He might end up working in the CAS TV workshop.
I don't mind
and
cleaning
leave
the
the
floors.
guys to run the company here, because one thing I can tell you about Chicanos, they have run that company like a well-oiled machine, even while Chip was gone.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys know that this weekend was the Festival of Motoring. He had cars at the Festival of Motoring, even though he wasn't here. So I'm sure people were like at the show and they're like, "How the heck is
Yeah.
Chip's cars here
Yeah.
if this owes in the UK?"
Yeah.
But that all comes with having a good team.
Yes.
So big shout out to the Chicanos team. Oh,
Mia.
Mia out there, I know you're doing things.
Yeah, Mia is my operations manager, champion, my right hand man. You'll see him running around, looking stressed all the time, but he's my go-to guy in the shop. He's my second in charge, and my workshop manager Zuma, legend, passionate guy. Love him to death. He's really done an amazing job. And then my, I will say, the shop's right hand girl, Letu. Legend of note, Letu I actually poached from sports scene. I used to buy my sneakers there, and she used to treat me like royalty. And I thought to myself, no man, this girl deserves better. She needs to become part of the Chicanos team. So I poached her. I'm not into poaching, sorry guys. But with her, I had to make an exception because she's such an amazing person. So they held the fort down for me, which was amazing, and I'm very proud of them. And I have to give a shout out to them. So yeah.
So before we go, just give the audience a little bit of an advertisement about what Chicanos actually does, because we know you built the car,
Yeah.
but what services do you guys offer? Is it complete restorations? Do you only do interiors? Or let the audience know, for you guys who don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, I'm proud to say that Chicanos Customs is the biggest custom and restoration shop in Africa. We are a one-stop shop. We offer everything from panel beating, resprays, upholstery, air suspension, sound, mechanical, electrical. You name it, we do it. We take on full bills, and we take on minor work as well. We also do a bit of classic car sales. So if you're looking for a classic car, check us out. We've got a barber shop. In future plans are to open a coffee shop. We got a car wash as well. So we do a lot of stuff. But I can tell you that we're a passionate bunch of people. When you walk in and you actually meet my staff, you'll see that they're very passionate, from Mia right down till the lady that's cleaning, Auntie Joyce. They're all passionate and they all love coming to work and being there. And I think that's important when you own a business. We're not perfect, we're far from perfect, but we are very passionate and we love doing what we do, you know. And I want you guys to come and visit. Please come and visit. If you're a car person, you have to come and visit. Come have a look at the cars that we have on display. Come chat to us. You never know. Maybe we could do something for you guys.
Now, I can tell you guys that it's quite an amazing workshop. I was actually looking at the video of the Cas TV workshop and thinking to myself, Chicanos isn't that far off space-wise.
Yeah.
Obviously, they operate differently. But Chicanos, guys, please give them a visit. And I'm hoping that when Nkabi is back,
Yeah.
Chip might organize a little park off or something so
definitely.
that people can come and actually see the car.
Yeah.
And some of the other cars that he's building as well.
Yes.
So if they want to build a car with you guys, where do they contact Chicanos?
Okay, so you guys can contact us via Instagram. It's Chicanos Customs. You guys can contact me, Chip_Moosa. Cell phone number is 066-288-7778. Yeah, just contact us, guys. Google us, you'll find us, and you come visit. And even if you don't want to build a car now, or you don't own a car as yet, please don't feel like you need to own a car to come and visit. Our place is open to the public, so you can come and view the cars and enjoy yourself, and hopefully it will inspire you, you know. And that's the type of environment that we've tried to create with the setup of the shop. So please come and visit us, guys. This is a personal invite from Chip Moosa. Please come visit.
Now, thank you so much for joining us today, Chip, and being a part of Shaun Spin.
Awesome.
You are our first in-studio guest. Most of
Nice.
the guys we speak to, we do over telephone.
Yeah.
But guys, if you enjoyed this episode of Shaun Spin, please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe and share this content with your family and friends. Let's make Chicanos blow up. Let's let Nkabi blow up, guys.
Nice.
Let's make this car trend. Chop has a couple of other interviews coming up.
Yeah.
Obviously, now he's a big celeb. Everybody wants a piece of it. And I'm sure when Nkabi gets back, we'll also reach out to Chop and try and do a shoot of the car, guys, so
Yes.
that you guys can have a better look. But if you haven't subscribed to Chicanos channel, please do so. Follow them on Insta. Follow Chip_Moosa on Instagram as well. They're on TikTok as well. Follow them, guys, and visit the store. You won't be disappointed.
Definitely.
Like Chop said, they have a coffee shop. They've got a barber shop. They also sell cars. So if you're looking for that perfect car, perhaps they have something in stock that you guys might love. So thanks so much, Chop, for
Thanks for
joining
having
us
me,
today.
brother.
Hopefully we'll be out at the shop soon, so
Definitely.
that we can get some fire content. You
Of
know,
course.
that's how we do.
Of course. Thank you so much for the opportunity, bro.
Anytime, brother. Thank
Cool.
you for coming through.
Okay.